Christian?
Your bow tie looks nice.
Okay, hello, I'm James Evans. We'd like to welcome you to our latest virtual town hall meeting, which will be hosted by our Director of Schools, who's going to take it from me now.
Yeah, thank you for participating, everyone, looking in. I just want to take you through the time frame of this has occurred this school year. You know, 1 year ago, almost today, we closed the doors of our schools. You know, we entered into something we'd never experienced. In fact, something that the world hadn't experienced in over 100 years, this thing called a pandemic. You know, there was a lot of uncertainty. You know, there was questions says, this is just like a flu. This is something won't hurt you. Or there was others, they said, this is something that's going to wipe out the whole human race. Now, we understood that it was somewhere in between. And along the way, we had to provide instructional learning every day in our schools. And along the way, we learned something in these 12 months that we've entered into. You know, we've learned that there is this thing called resolve. When life tosses you lemons, you make lemonade. We've learned that there's going to be sorrow. We've lost 4 of our staff employees, and we're very, we're very heart broken over that. You know, we learned that there's joy. We gave our students an opportunity to learn in person. We gave our students an opportunity to participate in activities that they love, whether it be cheerleading, sports, our fine arts. You know, there's a lot of things that occurred along the way. There was also a lot of sleepless nights. There were sleepless nights by principals, teachers, staff, Director of Schools. You know, although there have been many things that we want to leave behind, there are a lot of things that we want to take with us. You know, we want to improve the way we provide instruction technology as support to regular instruction. We want to improve in ways that we're utilizing our personnel. We want to improve in ways that we can offer better opportunities for our students, every student. You know, these opportunities will someday lead to success, and we believe in every child. We believe that every child has the right to learn, and we're going to do everything that we can to provide those opportunities. And lastly, I'd like to thank each of you for entrusting your children into our care. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spurlock. My name is Jimmy Sullivan, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. First, parents and our community members, the first thing, echoing Mr. Spurlock, we want to do is thank you for your support this year. During a year that was challenging above anything that we ever could have imagined, your support, although we have had challenges, we've also had growth. And education will not be the same as we move forward, and that'll be a benefit to our students. One of the things that I think we're most thankful for and most blessed in Rutherford County are our educators. They have done a phenomenal job this year of teaching continuously through an unknown. And the other part of that is the partnership that is occurring between our parents and our schools. I would argue is stronger than it's ever been. The communication is stronger than it's ever been. I saw a quote a couple weeks ago that talked about across the globe, there are 168 million students who have not had the opportunity to attend school in any shape or format in the last calendar year. Because of the hard work of our parents and our educators in this county, our students are not in that shape. It looks different, but they have had access and they've had high quality instruction that will allow them and help be a catalyst for them to be successful. As Mr. Spurlock mentioned, one of the things we want to highlight is that we want to reach all of our students. And that begins really as we start to transition into next school year, the 21-22 school year, with some of our summer programming. We're extremely excited about our summer program that we have to offer. We have opportunities for K-8, and then we have opportunities for 9-12 as well. A lot of this information is already available with our news releases on our website, but I want to take just a few minutes and go over some of this as well. For summer programming for K through 8, That is going to occur during the month of June for 4 days a week. For elementary school, it is 7:30 to 1:30. For middle school, it is going to be from 8:30 to 2:30. And this is not like your traditional summer school that you think of. We will have ELA, math, physical activity, intervention, but it's also going to be a fun experience for students to be able to collaborate and work with each other in a little bit more of a relaxed environment than a traditional school year. We will follow a same curriculum across the district as a catalyst to help jumpstart our students so that they can have success next year. I know several of you probably received a priority letter saying that your student was a priority student for summer camps. Even though I was involved in writing that summer program, it hit me on a personal level. My own child got one of those letters, and my wife asked me, why is our son, did he do something wrong to get one of these? Absolutely not. There are several ways a student could land on one of these priority letters, and all that did was give your student an opportunity to be able to be and register first. If you have not received one of those, again, that is not a big deal because registration will open for all students on March 26th. For 9-12, we have two options. One of those is a traditional summer school option. High school has to look a little bit different because students are earning credits. For students that are trying to get a credit ahead and get a little bit ahead with their studies, we'll be launching a registration later this week to where they'll be able to go ahead and sign up to earn that credit ahead. That will be held at Blackman High School, and we have different terms, whether that is through the month of June or July, and course offerings that will be announced as well. That is also available for in-person for students who did not earn a credit. So if a student failed to make a 50 for various reasons this year or previously, they would attend in person to be able to earn that credit before the next year's school year starts. The other option is more of a little bit individualized, and our graduation coaches and administrators will be reaching out to individual students that this applies to as our credit recovery. Credit recovery are for students who have earned between a 50 and a 69 at some point this school year or in previous years, and they are going to actually participate at their own home school, whatever high school they attend. For the most part, some of our Eagleville, I think, was partnering with Rockvale Central and Holloway or with Siegel. And then our virtual school would work with their comprehensive high school they normally would be zoned for. But this is an opportunity for students who are right on that verge of earning the credit and need to do a couple things to be able to get that credit back. And that will be more of an individualized thing that we will talk about. In summary, really, our whole aspect is to be able to reach all students and provide what each student needs. And that's what makes us special. As a lifelong resident here, it is amazing to be able to see what we offer in Rutherford County. And we still are the fourth largest district in the state of Tennessee, but we very much have a small district feel, and that we are going to provide opportunities across the grade bands that are going to be unique to your child and help them succeed. I mean, you're going to be hearing more about that in the next couple minutes as you hear from elementary, middle, and high school and CTE.
Thanks, Dr. Sullivan. So we are going to toss it over now to our elementary school team because we want to share with parents some of the wonderful things that we have that are available to reach all students like we've been discussing tonight. So let me toss it over to Miss Ann Haley and Miss Susan Epps.
Good evening. I am Ann Haley, the elementary coordinator, and Susan is one of our elementary math specialists, and thanks for joining us. I have had the privilege of going into classrooms and seeing smiling eyes. I've also had the privilege this year to look at those on Zoom and smiling and being engaged. We just want to take a moment to show you some things tonight that are happening in our schools, our elementary schools. We have 25 elementary schools, and we'll be adding our 26th this fall.
So elementary school setting is that first opportunity for students to be able to learn in a formal setting. In Rutherford County, we want to develop the whole child. And we look at each child as an individual and wanting to support their growth and development in many different aspects. We believe that our role as educators is to reach all children in all aspects. And we want to make sure that although we focus on that academic growth, that we're also balancing that with developing both their social and emotional needs. We want to make sure that they understand that their sense of belonging in the world and the community as they explore this time.
And one of the ways we do that in our elementary schools is by implementing the house system in the majority of our schools. This helps develop that social and emotional side for students. And right now we're going to kind of show you a little glimpse of that and what that's about. begins, where the love of learning begins and friendships begin for a lifetime. We certainly know that academics is a huge part of school, but equally important is that social side. And many of our schools have a house system which they've modeled after the Ron Clark Academy.
They teach us about every essential every year. One of them is don't ask for a reward. One of them is don't treat others how you want to be treated. There are a ton of essentials, or 10 essentials. It's really fun because the Kahoots are also just trivia on morals and all of that kind of stuff that we do in the house meetings.
What I love about the house system is it provides opportunity for good, healthy competition.
I like being in my house because I feel like we're being in a team. We get into like groups and we think about stuff for a few minutes, then we go back and talk about what we think about.
So those are 21st century skills that they would need going into the world.
No matter what house you're in, maybe you come all the way from Japan. It doesn't matter where you're from, it's okay, we're all different. We just need to work together. It's definitely a learning experience because teamwork, definitely you're gonna need that in your life at some point.
But no matter what, it's like your whole school is one big family.
Be safe, be kind, be responsible, be engaged, attentional.
Writing the school song for Smyrna Elementary School, we wanted something that would capture the energy and excitement, just like what we learned from the Ron Clark Academy.
The house system provides an opportunity to instill pride in students, but most of all, they're taking social skills with them that are forever skills. They'll use the rest of their life.
I enjoy learning about gratitude and thankfulness just because I feel like everybody should be thankful for at least one thing.
Well, hey, everybody should be thankful for at least one thing, but nothing, children can teach us a lot if we just take a moment to listen to them. Hey, we have another component we want to share with you tonight, and it's our choice schools in elementary. And here's a short video that's going to just highlight a few of aspects that make them unique.
Kids here can stay from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. What that does is helps us develop a really small, close-knit community that you may not get in one of the larger schools. So it's very much a family atmosphere here where you can establish relationships that last all the way that entire 9 years.
In this school, especially as a performance academy, these kids start in kindergarten performing in front of people in an active dance format, and it gives them the confidence to not only perform in other artistic venues, but also to stand up and do reports in front of class, and they learn how to cheer each other on and support each other through watching them perform without worry of critique.
The kids here are what make this school great, and the parents. All of our kids are motivated to be here. Their parents are motivated to have them here. They're hardworking, and they are just fantastic people.
I love how we all get to share our creative sides, and like nobody's judging us about how we go back to our art, and
Here we go! 3, 2, 1!
Like many of the other magnet schools, Thurman Francis is focused on academics. A lot of times people think because we're an arts academy, our sole focus is on the arts, but it's not. Similar to McFadden and Central, we're focused on academics here. Students have to qualify academically to get in. But what sets us apart is the additional focus that we have on the arts programs here.
We serve grades K-5 elementary. Our partnership with MTSU as a laboratory school, it involves them placing residency candidates at our school. These are teachers in training that are learning from experts. Our teachers have advanced degrees beyond the Bachelor of Science that's required for teaching. They have their master's, education specialist, or doctorate degrees. So these teaching candidates come over and they're paired with our expert teachers to learn how to become teachers, to put what they've learned in the classroom into practice. We were started by an act of the General Assembly in 1909. So the school began in 1911 when the university opened, and it started as a laboratory school. So our legacy is built around that partnership. We've been a legacy in the community with a focus on excellence in teaching from the very start. I think that reflects in everything that we do and the experiences we provide. We have traditions that go back many years that we still revive and that our kids share in, and really special experiences.
People should come to McFadden because the teachers are really good and everyone's just really nice and it's like one big family.
You know, we're very lucky here at McFadden with the group of students we have that come into our program. You know, we're a two-time National Blue Ribbon School, so we've been, you know, recognized nationally for the work we do each and every day.
Okay, we really want that wow work.
We focus on our pride, and we're all like a family, and we help each other when we need things.
Well, we're a K-5 academic magnet, so people would probably relate to an accelerated pace. And so we're just like any public school in the state of Tennessee. If you look at the standards, the expectations, they're there for every school. What we try to do is to maximize the time we have with our students, accelerate the pace, and I like to think of giving our kids just again the opportunity to be exposed. Maybe they're not ready for it possibly, but we try to expose our kids to as much high-level content as possible each and every day.
Failure means opportunity to be better.
We're just one component of all the good things going on in Rutherford County schools. And so every school, not just McFadden, you know, we look at trying, as we talk about, empowering students and give them opportunities. McFadden is just one of almost 50 opportunities in Rutherford County schools for students to be successful.
Dr. Blair said it well. There's amazing things going on in all 50 schools in this district. And tonight, we just wanted to show you a glimpse of what's going on in elementary schools. We are about empowering your students and your children to be successful for tomorrow. And thank you for sharing them with us.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Haley and Ms. Epps. We're going to turn it over now to our middle school team, Ms. Powers and Dr. Holman. We're going to share some of the great things happening in our middle schools. Again, we want to make sure that our families know some of the opportunities we have available, and they're going to highlight some of those for you.
Thank you, Mr. James. During my career here as an educator in Rutherford County schools, our middle schools have grown nearly 6 times the number of middle school buildings since I started my career here. So when I think about these buildings and all of the things that are going on at the middle school level, these opportunities are just endless for our children. So they range anywhere from fine arts to all of our athletic programs, the individual activities that our students can get involved in. Every building has something for every single child. I'm proud to sit here tonight with Dr. Holman. He represents Laverne Middle School as the principal. He's been an educator for 24 years, 19 of that as an administrator, and he's going to speak to you about our middle school children.
So good evening. I am honored and privileged to take this opportunity to share with you, not only as an educator, but as we as partners working together with one another. There's a common goal about attending school in Rutherford County, and that is for the betterment of all children. As our school, as our district mission statement states, we are truly empowering students each and every day, that you allow your child to entrust in us to educate them at the highest level. So in doing that, there are many, many things at the middle school level that your child would experience. I would liken to compare your child's middle school experience to that coming from elementary to middle, like that going from one supermarket to a mall experience. In the middle schools, your child is going to have the opportunities to have a phenomenal amount of interest in academic success, that being from our accelerated programs, everything from algebra to our gifted program, but the joy of your child being able to build in our STEM program, those things show light to how we empower our students every single day. So why do you ask your child come to middle school? Because of the opportunities that rest there, not only from the academic standpoint, but also from the clear fine arts that your child will be exposed to, from music, from drama, from sports and clubs. So I say to you, just as I open this tonight, that when you think about your child's experience, he or she is coming from the elementary school And we, as a district, we pride ourselves on our collaborative efforts. We collaborate with our elementary to transition them in, and then we collaborate with our high schools to transition them on to what? Bigger and better and brighter things. Your child each day is entrusted from quality, high quality teachers to provide the absolute best education. So as you relinquish your child each and every day, you can rest assured knowing not only does your child have a teacher, but your child has a partner. You are our partners, and we want you to know just how much we appreciate your child having a Rutherford County School District experience.
Very well spoken, Dr. Holman. We've got a couple of videos that will share with you just a fraction of the opportunities that our children have at the middle level.
Because STEM kind of teaches you how to build things your own way and not just off of the internet.
Here at Rutherford County Schools, we have STEM programs in 12 of our traditional middle schools and at one of our magnet schools. In our STEM programs, we offer opportunities for students to engage in relevant and real-world problem solving using the engineering design process.
I need to touch or see something to really work with it. That's another reason why I really like STEM, because it gives you that opportunity. I just like being able to design my own things to fix problems. I think that's a really cool thing that you can do in this world.
One's up here, one's 30, and the other one is chauffeur. This one's out of this.
We've seen many successes in our STEM programs, including through student competitions. Central Magnet School and Stewart's Creek Middle School have both been involved in the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. Both have been finalists in these programs, bringing in tens of thousands of dollars to enhance their STEM program.
So we could do a half scale or a fourth scale. So you'll just have to figure that out, and then we can start making a paper template and kind of get an idea of how big we want it to be and what we want it to look like.
One of the other competitions our students are involved in is Best Robotics. We've had 2 of the country's top rated teams move on to regional invitational competitions where they've been very successful. We also host a countywide STEM expo for grades 5 through 12 where students present original STEM research. We bring in community stakeholders such as Nissan, Molly, and TCAT that evaluate the STEM projects. Students present projects anywhere from engineering to technology to agriculture to science research, all in preparation for either high school pathways or for college and career readiness.
I've always understood more about how air works and aerodynamics and how that flows through things. So my favorite project was the straw rocket because I got to learn in extents about how that actually works.
Students are actually preparing for our middle school programs in elementary school through project-based learning, STEM fairs, and after-school clubs. And our middle school programs are a bridge to our high school STEM pathways. So our STEM program here at Rutherford County School is just one element of education in Rutherford County Schools that sets us apart from all the other districts in the state.
I love the smiles on the students' faces when they're doing the STEM and their brains are thinking. So the next video is another opportunity for our middle school students.
MYP program stands for the Middle Years Program, and it is a feeder program into the IB program, which is across the street at Oakland High School. So we partner with OHS, and the MYP program goes from 6th grade through 10th grade. So we're able to allow our students to come in as 6th graders and experience the MYP program 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then transition into it when they go across the street to OHS.
I don't know, I want to say maybe a month ago, we started reading the life of Frederick Douglass, which is pretty much his biography, and it talks about how slavery impacted his life and how the injustice he faced during that time kind of relates to now what's going on in the world today.
So the MYP program is a school-wide program, and it allows our students to be able to tie in real-world global connections with the standards that we teach in class. So we're able to still continue to teach the standards for math, social studies, English, and science, but we do it in a way where students are making connections with the real world through their experiences, through the lessons and the activities that the teachers set up, and it allows our students to be able to not only just learn those standards, which is something that happens in middle schools across the state, but they learn those standards in a way that it connects to the real world.
My IB profile is principled, and I like having that relationship between the different, like my personality. I think that I am principled. Like that is a good representation of me, and I like to put those things together to have a connection.
I guess it's harder and gets me more concentrated, trying to get me concentrated, and it's a challenge and it's pushing me to do better.
So basically a lesson is going to start out with an inquiry question. So we're going to ask them a question that is timed to one of the learner profiles for the middle years program. And the learner profiles are things like being a risk taker or a communicator. So it's going to be things that really help our students identify what skills they need for real life.
Let's start with you. So IB profile. If you were giving Martin Luther an IB profile, which one would you assign him?
I really like in my English class connecting them to the different characters, because even though someone might be stereotypically a bad person, you can find a profile to fit them, and it just makes them seem a little bit less bad and give reasoning.
Usually when we go to school, we learn about stuff in the past, and now in NYP we focus on the present and maybe go in the future.
Okay.
All right, that's just a small snippet of the options that our students have at the middle school level. Just a world of opportunities and fun times for our middle school students.
Okay, next up, we're going to toss over to our high school team, Dr. Kay Martin, who's our our secondary coordinator, and Dr. Kyle Prince, who's our math specialist for secondary schools.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Evans. We're really proud here in Rutherford County that our high schools truly offer something for everyone. Whether your student is wanting to go to a four-year college, whether they want to leave high school and go directly into the workforce, whether they want to go to a trade school, whatever their next destination is, we really have those opportunities for them now in high school to prepare for those next steps. We offer everything from career and technical courses, we have advanced placement, we have dual enrollment courses, we even offer global programs like Cambridge and IB. A lot of times our students, they don't know what they want to do after high school. Or they may have an idea about a particular career, but they have a lot of questions about what that career means and what's involved with that career. That is where our career and technical pathways, or what we call our CTE courses, they are the perfect solution for these types of students. These courses allow our students to learn the theory and then have the hands-on practice to follow that with. They are able to make a connection with the community. We work hand in hand with the Rutherford County Chamber and make a connection for those students between what they're learning in the classroom and how they can use that in the community and with those jobs in their future. We're very proud that in Rutherford County we offer 37 different CTE pathways, and that is one of the largest CTE programs in the entire state, and we're very proud of that. Tonight we have with us Ms. Tyra Pilgrim. She's our Rutherford County CTE coordinator, and she's going to highlight a few of these programs for you.
Hello, I'm Tyra Pilgrim. I'm the Career and Technical Education Coordinator, and this evening we're going to look at a few of our CTE programs, our programs of study. So first we're going to look at our aviation program, and this program also includes the drones, and you see the flight simulators, so the students are able to use them in a real-world-like experience. In our audiovisual programs of study, the students are able to create, edit, and produce video footage for their schools along with their daily announcements at some of them. And so they're able to be behind the camera and in front of the camera, and so the skills that they are using will go with them, in their career and in their schools. We also have an audio production program, And so the students have, not only taken and done class projects, they're able to go live. And so they are working with their sports teams, and so they are able to create live footage and video for the sports teams. Our health science programs of study are sports and human performance, therapeutic services, and in those they are able to stick needles, they're able to take pulse oximeter readings, and so they're also able to, in our emergency medical services program of study, they're able to put mannequins on the boards, and they're also, the students are learning teamwork, and so they're learning the ability to also work in small spaces like the ambulance simulator that we have, because they need to have as sometimes little space as possible. Our cybersecurity and networking are two of our information technology programs of study where the students are able to, in a simulation, work on cybersecurity issues and see how they can learn to be successful in that industry. In mechatronics, they learn to use CNC machines, and they're able to program robots, and they are also able to use plasma cutters, and then they also are able to take the computer systems, they're able to do 3D printing. And so they're able to make, if they need a part to something, they can make it, and they're using their 3D printers. In culinary arts, the students are able to learn about proper food temperatures, food presentation. We want to make sure the students are able to make things pretty whenever they are creating the culinary feast. The students are able to also learn to make things from scratch. And so that, takes a different aspect of it, because it allows them to not just microwave things, they can actually go ahead and create it from scratch and then make it at home whenever they, want to make a pizza at home. And so as part of culinary, they're also learning the proper techniques for cutting meat and for the, the temperature that's supposed to stay at. And in our veterinary and animal science programs of study, the students learn how to care for animals along with proper grooming techniques and procedures, and just to care for our animals. So career technical education is where we take the theory learned in the classroom, and then we're able to take that learning further and into the lab with a hands-on practice. And so when I talk to students, the students are telling me that whenever they're able to do that hands-on learning, it just makes it more real to them. And so they can learn it and they can comprehend it better when they're able to do that. Our students are able to leave our programs with industry credentials, and they are ready for the work world. We tell them that high school is not the end. We want them to continue and to further their education, whether it's a tech school or a community college or a university, and the sky's the limit, really, because they will be a continuous learner. So career and technical education paves the way to not only a job, it paves the way to a career. Thank you.
In addition to our CTE programs, we have many choice and enrichment programs in our high schools to provide every student the opportunity to be successful and reach their full potential. We really work hard to provide every student with what they need, whether that be a small school setting, STEM focus, or college level academics, to prepare them for their next stage in life. If that next stage is college, our students have an advantage because they can take college level classes in high school, whether that be advanced placement courses, dual enrollment courses, or dual credit courses. Once those courses are completed, students not only get a credit, but it can also save them time and money. Regardless of students' ambitions in high school, our high schools definitely have something to offer. And so in this next video, we're going to highlight some of those unique experiences that make Rutherford County Schools one of the top districts in the state.
The thing about Central is the culture, it's the environment of the school. The people here, whether the teachers and the students, are high achievers. They have really high expectations for themselves and the people around them. And I think that culture goes in all aspects of the school. Our motto is always my best. And we firmly believe that our students can do their best in everything. Best is not always perfect, but we do ask for their best, whether it's basketball, robotics, band, choir, or any other hundreds of programs we have here. We have students in Harvard, Yale, Caltech, MIT, pretty much any school you've heard of, we have a student there. But also the achievement, this year's senior class had 14 national merits. This year had 6 36s on the ACT. 75% of this year's senior class has a 30 or better on the ACT.
The IB program is unique because students get to work with their teachers for 2 whole years, and so they get to interact with the material. They have to take 6 different subjects, so they're exposed to different areas, and then we all manage to relate those areas within each other, and it helps them learn to have a dialogue with their peers and teachers. It teaches them how to think for themselves, those critical thinking skills. And above all, it prepares them for college.
It's not just 1 year, take the test at the end, it's 2 years, and the teachers really make sure you understand, and they incorporate it into all the other classes. They all kind of blend together and relate to each other. And the IB program, the people in it really form a community. If you need help, they help you, whereas AP and honors, it's much more individual.
The Cambridge program brings our students to a place where they not only understand more about what is happening in the local community, they understand what is happening in the global community. Working together in a team setting, they start to realize their own strengths, and everybody brings something to the table, and everybody values the other members of the team. And they learn to become comfortable asking questions of their peers.
So it'd be negative something, right?
No, I'm talking about the equation.
It doesn't give you an equation.
When you do?
So it's an international program, and how everything comes together from the past to the present, but then empowers them as they go forward into the rest of the world, into the rest of their lives. And it opens doors for all of our students. So they're learning here what they need for eternity to be successful.
What makes us special is that we are small. In here, no kid is invisible, and we make differences because of that.
Coming to Holloway has definitely changed my life.
We are a regular high school. We are an alternative to a comprehensive high school. We have the exact same requirements as every other school.
Being able to have people that actually enjoy being around and teachers that were very understanding led to being able to easily make good grades.
Because we're accelerated and they learn to complete a full year's course in 1 semester, they're better prepared when they get to the university or the next level.
Blackman Collegiate Academy is a unique opportunity for students to grow themselves and to be pushed and challenged and prepared for their post-secondary opportunities. The Blackman Collegiate Academy is built on 4 pillars: academics, research, life experience, and extracurriculars. Beyond the graduation requirements, our students also take 12 hours at the honors, advanced honors, or AP or dual enrollment level, in addition to a semester of speech or critical thinking, as well as a semester of a capstone course in their senior year. Not only that, our students are required to complete 20 hours of extracurricular activity each year, as well as 40 hours of life experience. The BCA empowers students by giving them both choice and a push.
It's going to be just such an accomplishment to get your associate's degree and your high school diploma at the same time. I feel like I just have like a head start on life.
Well, the early college program at Laverne High School it is formerly known as our associates program. So we've named it a little differently, but it is an advanced program which allows our juniors and our seniors to take classes on the Motlow campus here in Smyrna. So all courses would be solely on that campus during the junior and the senior year, and the students would have the opportunity to earn both their associate's degree as well as their high school diploma while in the program.
Initially, my parents weren't the biggest advocates of me taking additional dual classes and putting myself through like all the triumphs and tribulations that dual has to offer. But after they saw how it's helped me grow throughout the past 2 years I've been in the program, how much I've grown at home, at school, just in my social environment,
they're 100% on board.
I definitely think that this program is such an opportunity that anybody should pursue if they feel like they can be challenged. It's a lot of time and effort, but this really will prepare you moving forward into college. So if you have the opportunity to take this program, then definitely do.
As you can see in those videos, our high schools really have something special to offer every single student. We really try to take and meet students where they are and help them get to where they need to go.
We had to summarize Rutherford County High Schools in just one word. That would be opportunity. There are endless opportunities for our students. And I think you can tell through these videos, it's not a cookie-cutter education. It is really unique to our students and their needs and their future aspirations and those goals. And that's just our daily mission, that we can empower our students to grasp today's opportunities or tomorrow's opportunities today and help them to embark on their post-secondary goals.
So as you were able to see, all of our Rutherford County schools have amazing things to offer. Those are just some highlights of some of the programming available at a few of our schools, but we could have done a highlight video on every one of our schools with the amazing things that goes on, not just with our students, but our educators on a daily basis. Another one of those opportunities we want to highlight, and that we're very proud of being in its first year, is our Rutherford County Virtual School. This virtual school and our virtual school kind of got stuck in the timing world, if you will. Mr. Spurlock had the idea last year to really, and 2 years ago, to get involved with a virtual school, and then the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Our virtual school this year was started off pretty small. We started as a 6 through 12 group and organization, and we had some pushback on adding grades because we know having school choice is something that our parents need. And there's an environment in making sure that we are reaching all students that throughout this COVID-19 pandemic, we have found some students who truly excel during that distance learning environment. And so we're excited to announce that our virtual school will be expanding to 3rd through 12th grade next year. Again, it'll be 3rd through 12th grade. There's been discussion on adding other grades as well, but as a school, we can only add 3 grades at a time. And so we're looking at 3 through 12 for next year. The enrollment will drastically increase. And another portion that we're excited about that is we'll be adding our own Rutherford County teachers to our virtual school through 3rd through 8th grade. We'll also have for 9 through 12 some of our own Rutherford County educators working with them in after-school tutoring and those type of opportunities as well. We'll be launching that application for next year as we start to move towards looking at what does 21-22 school year look like and doing things in a more traditional sense. What are those students who are still needing that distance learning option going to need? And that opportunity is going to be through our Rutherford County Virtual School.
Operate differently than traditional schools. At the virtual school, we empower our students to own their education. We have high rigorous courses that best suits a student's individual scheduling needs. Our courses are more similar to a college schedule for our high schoolers. Students are working with advanced technology, and so that will help them with those 21st century skills that they need. They're working on customizing their daily schedule, which is really important in the workplace and in their college, future college career. Next school year, we're really excited to open up younger grades. So we will start with 3rd grade. We'll be encompassing 3rd through 12th next year. We are hoping to add in a sports program next year, because not only will they have that online educational piece, but they'll have the experience.
So Dr. Sullivan, some of the questions that have come in that we've been watching, there's been lots of comments, but one thing is, could you maybe summarize again, just quickly for those who may miss it towards the beginning of the meeting, just some of the summer programming and how they can find out more information. And then the second common question that we've been asked is, how is TN Ready assessments going to work this year? This may be a good time. And we maybe also could remind them about high schools and the ACT Day tomorrow.
Absolutely. So first with summer programming, we have all of that information on our Rutherford County Schools website for the specifics. For K through 8, we are currently doing priority registration on our website for students who met certain criteria, but we will be opening up registration for all students on March 26th. That follows 4 days for summer, it follows the month of June, 4 days a week through the entire month of June, 6 hours a day, 2 to 4 hours roughly of math and ELA, 1 hour of intervention, and 1 hour of PE or some type of STEM physical activity. It is not a traditional summer school, so I don't want kids and parents to think summer school and have negative connotations with it. This will be a fun experience for our students and one that we'll be able to use to really jumpstart us into next year. The other part is about the TN Ready and TCAP testing. And so one of the things that you have probably seen or heard or may not have heard is that TCAP testing will continue for this year. That is from the Tennessee Department of Education and a requirement that we have to meet. We also have an 80% threshold that we are supposed to hit for our schools. And that 80% is extremely important so that our schools have something called hold harmless, which means the test truly just is a portion for us to see where our students are so that we can move forward. We also have to realize that we have about 12,500 students who are currently still distance learners. And we want to make sure that we provide those parents and those students an environment that is smaller. They have not yet felt comfortable enough to be able to send a student back in a traditional setting, which is perfectly understandable. I have one of my own children distance learning up until last week. And so along with that, we're going to be releasing a different schedule to where traditional learners will be taking their TCAP assessment on certain days. When distance learners come in, then traditional learners will stay home to allow us to have a smaller avenue. This test, we can get stuck in the why are we giving an assessment in the middle of a pandemic. This assessment is truly just to give us a data point on where our students are so that as they move towards and we move through this summer and into next school year, we know exactly where we need to help them. We know they're going to be ahead compared to their counterparts across the globe. As I mentioned, those 100 million students who are not getting an education. Our kids are well above that, but we want to make sure that we give them the support they need moving forward.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up with that by saying that, it's very important that they take the assessment. Obviously, we don't want any anxiety or any pressure. We're just trying to get a data point like Dr. Sullivan talked about. It's necessary for us to identify some support that we can help along the way. And quite frankly, there'll be a lot that perhaps maybe will excel this summer or this year. Now, one of the things we've talked about in Rutherford County is all the great things that are being offered. I want to give you a little history lesson. I'm probably the oldest one up here, maybe the oldest one out there. I was a graduate of Rutherford County Schools, and I actually had children attend Rutherford County Schools, and I have a grandchild. I can't tell you how much over the years that Rutherford County Schools has kept in touch with the main thing, which is provide opportunities for kids. I can't tell you how excited and how thankful I am for all of the administrators, all of our teachers this year, all of our staff, that's including our custodial staff, our food service workers, you name it. They have done a phenomenal job under very trying circumstances. Our biggest issue this year was with staffing. Students, obviously got it, but however, we can deal with that. But staffing, we had challenges, and there were some times when we had not just positive cases. In fact, most of our cases with our staff was due to quarantine. And I talked about earlier in the very beginning about some things we want to leave behind. Let me just go over a few of those. Contact tracing. I want to leave it behind, okay? I want to leave behind quarantine. And I know we will. So I want to thank those people for standing up and taking charge and learning in conditions that are very challenging. And I want to thank this instructional staff and the people here in the central office for getting together, coming together as one, and understanding that it's about the kids. I also want to tell you that, in the United States currently, graduates leave and go to college have currently, in the United States, $1.7 trillion of student debt. One of the things that means is that we are not, or as a society, preparing our kids for something after college. Or perhaps we're not preparing them for things they need to be taking. We're changing. We cannot continue doing this business. $1.7 trillion of debt. You know, some in the state of Tennessee, a typical college graduate will leave with somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 of student debt. That's not sustainable. What we want to do is, we know that college lasts for a finite amount of time. However, a career lasts for a lifetime. It's never too early to think about careers, and that's what we want to do. I want to close by saying we do appreciate all that you do for us, and we know it has been very challenging for you. You know, as a parent, I remember those times when, you know, the kids got sick and you had to sacrifice, you know, you had to miss work and do things of that nature. Believe me, I understand that, and I know a lot of us here understand that. But we want you to be with us and understand that we're listening to you. We will not stay stationary. We will continue to look at ways that we can improve. So we thank you, and we look forward to better days.
Okay, that concludes our meeting tonight. If there's any questions here tonight that we didn't answer or that we missed, feel free to reach out to anyone here on the staff, and we'll be happy to help you. But as always, parents, thank you for all that you do, and have a great day.